look at a paired t-test. What we have here are Disney movies. There are 9 Disney movies that were originally produced as cartoons and then were remade recently as live action movies. So what we have are the IMDb scores before and the IMDb scores after. All right, so we have the same movie before and after. That means it's going to be a paired test. We can have another column called delta, and that will just be our before score minus our after score. I'm going to click this little thing there and carry it through. All right, so all of these values are positive. The only one that's really close here is Jungle Book. So let's say if we wanted to have a hypothesis that the before and the after were the same, let's do that. So we've got Excel stat, we go to parametric test, two-sample t-test. So our sample 1 is before, our sample 2 is after. We've got paired samples and it's a t-test. Under options, I'm going to say that they're not. My null hypothesis is they are equal, so my alternative is that they're not equal. The value for D here is 0. Let's try this. Okay, so we can see, looking here, that our observed t-value is much larger than the critical value. Likewise, our p-value is much smaller than alpha, which means that we should reject the null hypothesis that they're the same and conclude that they're different. There is a difference in the ratings for before and after. So what if we wanted to know which way this goes? If the after ones are going to be less than the before ones. So let's do this again. And this time we'll go to options. I'm going to change it down here so that we think the before one will have a higher score than the after, and that score will be bigger than 0. So how likely is this to be the case? Well, the null hypothesis in this one is that the means are equal to or less than 0, and the alternative is greater than 0. So we should reject the null hypothesis that the means are equal to or less than, and accept the alternative hypothesis that the original movies are ranked higher than the remakes. All right, this test shows us very clearly that there is evidence that the remakes have lower scores than the originals. And so if we were making a movie and we wanted to take a cartoon from a cartoon into a live action movie, we should expect that the IMDb score will be less than the original score. Right? Before and after two-sample t-test. You can also use the data analysis tab. Here, variable range 1, variable range 2, hypothesize different, 0, no labels. All right, and you can see we get the same value. The t-statistic, right, some other information, but our t-statistic is very high, showing that there is a difference between version 1 and version 2.